All right, I've jumped over into StatCrunch. I have entered that same group of 16 numbers that we've been working with for this lecture. You simply just put them in a column right here. So I just did 5 enter, 5 enter, 5 enter, 3 enter, 5 enter. Okay. Um, Please don't be afraid to just click around and see what happens. That's the way I figured out how to do most of it. I just started clicking things until I saw something. Now, some of it is intuitive, some of it is not. You're not going to know what it is unless I tell you. But when you hover over the graph tab, you can see right there that there's a histogram. Now, once you get inside there, it's not real obvious what you're supposed to do. Pause this, take notes, practice it over and over and over. You don't want to have to, be in the middle of a test and get stuck right here. So you want to click on wherever, because you could have, another set of data over here, another set of data over here, another set of data over here. This is the only set of data that we have, so obviously we're going to pick that one. And you could call this whatever you want to. I mean, you could name it. What did we say it was? Number of dogs in the survey. It wasn't really, I just made something up. I don't even really know what this is. It says it's optional anyway. Where field, see, I don't know what that is. So we're just going to cancel that. Here's the type. You can choose either frequency or relative frequency. These are going to be the two that you choose from, depending on what it tells you. We'll do frequency first, since we did frequency for all of these. What is it talking about right here? Bins. I don't usually do a start at, but I guess if you wanted to, you could. We'll leave that one blank. I usually leave it blank. I just go straight for the width. And, that's the class width that we calculated for every one of them. So if you remember, when I had just two classes, we calculated the class width to be 5. So I'm going to put 5 right there. And I think that's really all we need. We just need to know what kind it is and what the bin width is. Everything else, I just kind of leave the way it is, and then I press compute. Now, that's interesting because it gave me, we did 5, and it gave me 3 classes, not 2. So I wonder, I don't know what happened right there. Let's do that one again. Histogram. Let's say we start at 1, since that was my smallest number. And then we say the class width is 5, and see what happens. We do want a frequency. I got to put that over there. Okay, now we compute. Okay, there we go. We had to tell it where to start. So that gave us, so when we had 2 a while ago, we said it went up to 10, and the other one went up to 5. This one's going up a little bit past 10, so maybe one of these numbers over here are wrong, or maybe we tallied it wrong a while ago. No, a while ago it was at 11. It sure was. It was up at 11 when we did it by hand. So that's where that one is. Now notice that they're not closing. They're going over here. You can click over here and show those 2 results so you can go get them again. But I'm going to go back to graph this time. I'm going to do histogram, and we're going to do it again. We're just going to say this time we want to start it at 1, and this time we're going to do the class width of, what was the other one that we did? When it had 2 bins, it had a class width of 5. We did 4 bins, and that had a class width of 3. So we'll type right there and compute that. And So there's our 4 bins, and a while ago we calculated it to be 5, 7, 3, and 1, and it matches down here. Now, what I wanted to show you is that they kind of take liberties. I had a teacher that used to always say, you're taking liberties, and what that means is you're not really doing it mathematically correct, because they're showing that this starts at 1 and goes all the way to 4. Well, the problem with that is if 4 itself is the boundary, oh, and it's even showing you, if you hover over it, it'll show you, what does this do? I don't know. But if you hover over it, looks like, oh, look at that. I did not know. I just clicked on the thing and it shows me which ones are in that bin. Isn't that clever? Click on that one. Can I unclick that one? I don't guess I can unclick it. Those are the ones that are all accounted for. Go over here and click that one. There's the last one, and there's the ones in the middle. I can't unclick them though. Options, refresh. It didn't refresh. It'll let me edit, but I don't know how to make all that go away. Let's just compute. No. Okay, so anyway, you hover over it and it's showing you what the frequency is. It's 5, and it's showing you that it's, oh, this is interesting. You see how there's a bracket right there at 1, and then it has a comma, and then it has a 4 and the parentheses. This explains, okay, so here's what I was going to say a while ago. They don't have the boundaries at, what did we say they should be? 4.5, and they don't have the other boundary at 7.5. They just put it at 4. Okay, so if the boundary is at 4, then where does the number 4 go? Does it go in the first tab, or does it go in the first bin, or does it go in the second bin? Because if this line right here is exactly at 4, then where does 4 go? Well, if you do it using our method that we did a while ago, we saw that our class limits, when there were 4 bins, was really 1 to 3, and then the next one started at 4 and went to 6, and then the next one started at 7 and went to 10. Well, that's exactly what this is telling us right there. That bracket in front of the 1 says the 1s go in this bin. And then the parentheses around the 4 says you can put anything up to 4, but 4s don't go in bin number 1. That's what the parenthesis says. Those are symbols that we use to include 1, go up to 4, but don't include 4. And then when we get over here to this one, notice it starts at 4. It says 4 is where we're starting this bin. This bin starts at 4, and we're going to go all the way up to 7, but we're not going to include 7. And then that gets us the exact same numbers in the bins as it did when we used boundaries by bumping them out to the middle. If you have questions over that, let me know, because I really wish I had my document camera turned on right now so I could jump back and forth between what I had on my paper and what they have right here. But that's really interesting that it shows you that. Okay, I want to show you a couple of other things. I've got 8 minutes, so I want to hurry. So that's if you just want to type them in. Pearson also offers something really cool. If you, I want to show you question number 9 real quick. So if you're working question number 9 for your homework, and this is your actual question number 9, you'll all do this. My computer is so slow right now because I'm still backing up some videos that I made. And it's taking up all my bandwidth, and everything is loading ridiculously slow. I'm sorry. Okay, here comes number 9. And the reason I want to show you number 9 is because oh Lord, it has a stat crunch link. Okay, so first of all, when you click question help right here, this is the way you should be doing all of your homework. view an example, it'll show you a problem exactly like this, and it will show you exactly how to work it. If you do help me solve this, it will help you solve this. It'll walk you through, but then it's going to redo the question and make you do another one. If you do view an example, the example that it shows you is just like this one, but when you get through with the example, you'll be able to do this question. They won't redo it. So it's still, you know, you're working two problems, the example and then this one, or you're working this one and then you have to redo that again. But you can also get to StatCrunch right there. But when it has this little icon right here, you click on that and your data set loads. Okay, so there's your data set. If you click right here, it's going to take it. You can either go to just a clipboard, copy and paste it. You can open it in Excel, or you can open it in StatCrunch. And basically all that's going to do is save you from having to type those numbers in StatCrunch. Now, I think problem number 9 asks you something about an ogive, which is a type of graph. I think it graphs like your cumulative frequency. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But see, it puts all of those numbers in here for you. And let's just pretend for a second that problem number 9 was a question about a histogram. Then you could go over here and do the histogram and say, I want to use the ones in that variable. I want to do, let's say, relative frequency this time, and we want it to start at 0, and we want it to be, I don't know, how many, let's just say 5. I don't have any idea what that's going to do. There you go. So start at 0 and it goes to 5. I don't even know why I wanted to start at 0. I should have looked at my smallest number, but that's why it was. I didn't look at my smallest number. I probably should have started at my smallest number. But anyway, there it is. So you could cancel it out, or you could even edit it and go back and do it again. This time I don't want to start at 0. What's my smallest number? I don't know. Let's say it's 45. I'm just guessing. Okay, so that's how you can do use StatCrunch in the middle of a problem. So that's very helpful. There's also one other thing that I want to show you about StatCrunch and your textbook. And that is down here where it says multimedia library. I may have already done that somewhere. Here it is. So if you click on multimedia library, this is what opens. You can certainly do this for all chapters, but my computer's running so slow. I'm going to only do chapter 2, and I'm only going to do section 1 because that's the lesson that this is over. Chapter 2, section 1, and I'm going to click on StatCrunch. So multimedia library, wherever you want to go, and you can do for the whole book if you want to. I don't know why you'd want to, but click on StatCrunch, find now. And what this is going to do right here, it's going to take you StatCrunch chapter 2. When you open this up, it's going to show you data sets. See, remember that data set, Super Bowls that we did at the very beginning? There they all are. Graph, histogram, winning Super Bowls. It's not called variable one this time. They actually titled it scores of, what was the lowest one? It starts at 14. And the width, we said for 7 classes, the width was 6. And compute, and there is the histogram that we made by hand. And then if you wanted relative frequency, just this time pick relative frequency and compute. So if you want to do extra problems, let's say you're looking at the textbook, and here's some problems right here. Construct a frequency distribution and a relative frequency histogram. And you wanted to practice doing that, whether it's by hand or on StatCrunch. If you wanted to do StatCrunch, you don't have to type these numbers in. This is problem number 37. So in that multimedia thing, where did it go? Oh, Lord, I lost it. Let me do it again. And that multimedia thing, where I opened up chapter 2, exercise 37 is right there. So I click that. And what does it do with those data points from number 37? Oh, it has an issue. Those should be numbers right there. So it could be my computer, because my computer is doing stupid things tonight. I need to shut it all down and clear cache and do all that kind of stuff. But anyway, the Super Bowl numbers worked beautifully. So you see what I'm talking about. Go back here. Let's try exercise number 29. See if that works any better. There, number 29 worked nicely. And if I can find the textbook again, I can go back a page or two and see what 29 wanted me to do with that data. Let's do one more. What did they say they wanted me to do? Oh, I'm over. I'm not supposed to go over 15 minutes. So this one says, construct a frequency distribution for the data set using the indicated number of classes. So while you don't actually have to do the histogram, they don't want you to draw the histogram, they want you to draw a table. Well, the table that you want to draw, where are those numbers again? The table that you want to do can be generated by looking at the histogram. So looks like 0 is the smallest number. So we're going to start with 0. And I didn't read the rest of the assignment. Pooh. What was number 29? 5 classes. So we'd have to find the class width real quick. So the biggest number minus the smallest number. Looks like the biggest number, and I'm sure that you can calculate the range on StatCrunch. I just don't remember right this second how to do it. But the biggest number looks like it's number 39, and the smallest number was 0. So divide that by 5 classes to get your class width. So 39 divided by 5 is 39 divided by 5 is 7.8. So round that up to 8. So 8 is the class width. So type in 8 right there and compute. Oh, I forgot to do this. 0, 8 compute. So here's your frequency distribution. You would make a table and you would say from 0 to 7. You see why I'm only going to 7? Because this says go up to 8, but don't include 8. So that means it really stopped at 7. So go from 0 to 7, and your frequency would be 8. And then the next class is going to be 8 to 15. So you would make a table and you'd put 8 to 15 as your class limits. And then in the frequency, you'd put 7. And your class limits would be 16 to 23 with a frequency of 3. So you can build a table out of this rather than having to draw a histogram, but the histogram gives you the information about the table. All right, I'm through with chapter 2, section 1. For chapter 2, section 2, just read the book and look at the examples of the different types of graphs. If you have any questions over those, let me know.